DYSG. Keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs. Dope topics, come see. DYSG. Keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs. Dope topics, come see. I got a question, do you speak geek? New episodes on the podcast dropping each week. Get hip to the game, I'm giving y'all a sneak peek. Flavor for your ears, bars flowing on unique beats. Blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks. The Source Wall Wednesday dropping comics you should cop, I think you'd ought to peep. Don't sleep on Dono and Nix, they preaching the gospel. Real ish, ill like mono, they sick. Thumb life if you're into games with combos and kicks. This podcast is a gift, it's as real as it gets. Blurs taking over, with clever marketing we gain exposure. Feeding the community magic, your boy's a nerd promoter. The dialogue is Jimmy Crackcorn, we aiming for gold. The truth was told, I can't speak for other platforms. Sharp as cats out like knives, claws, and tack thorns. We blacking out, going crazy like a black storm. DYSG, don't forget to follow back. Hosting on the airwaves, always keeping it a stack. Flowers to my haters, psych, I ain't giving y'all jack. Number one on the charts, give your boy a gold plaque.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nix, and this is DYSG Live. I'm so happy that y'all could join us. For everybody checking in, shout out to everybody over at IG. Shout out to everybody locking in on Twitch, and shout out to all my family that's checking in on YouTube. We got a great guest coming through for DYSG Live tonight, y'all. Just as a few things, as a quick reminder, y'all, don't forget blurredstation.com. Please be sure you are subscribing. This is the ultimate opportunity for y'all to be a part of something incredible. So please get a part of that pie called blurredstation.com. Also coming soon, DYSGmedia.com, my website. It's going to be the central hub for everything DYSG. That's this podcast, the CCW podcast, the Love Blurs podcast, the blog is coming, the cosplay corner is coming. A lot of stuff is coming to this website. So y'all be sure to check that out and peep that out when that hits. Also, be sure to hit up with TacoNoir.com. Promo code DYSG, get yourself 30% off of those blurred boxes. So please take advantage of that and get yourself a little something nice. Without further ado, y'all, I got an incredible guest. If you have Instagram and if you are a blurred, I promise you've seen her. I promise you've laughed at her content. I promise she has inspired you to watch at least one anime in particular, at least one. And let's go ahead and not waste her time any further. Ladies and gentlemen, blurreds and nerds, freaks and geeks, I introduce to you the one, the only King Krystal herself, Kyrstal Shanelle.
Hi, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can, okay. Mama. How you feeling?
Awesome. I'm good. What an introduction. Thank you.
Oh, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been busy. I've been trying to find a new way to do content. So I've been trying to adjust and navigate how to do it. But it's been a good week. How about yourself?
It's been pleasurable. I will say that. It's been a good week so far. I will say that. I can't say that I can complain. So it's already Friday. So I say if I can get Saturday knocked out, it's been an amazing week.
I'll take it. Good answer.
Absolutely. Good. Take a win anytime I can get one for sure. So thank you for joining us. For y'all who are checking in over there on IG, and for those of you who are checking in on YouTube, please, if you have questions for our guests, throw it in the comments. We're gonna get to y'all as soon as we possibly can, because I'm pretty sure y'all want to know about this amazing person just like I do. But before we kick this thing off, Krystal, let's get the origin story out of the way. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what it is you do.
Got you. Okay, so hi, my name is Krystal. I am a content creator, more in the nerd space, a lot more in the nerd space. I started content creating maybe 2019, maybe 18-ish. I had just moved from my hometown down to LA to start school at the LA Film School. And while I was there, I was inspired by a lot of other creators that I had followed. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is a job? Like, what the heck? This is awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it too. And yeah, I just started like posting cosplays, talking about anime that I liked, and then kind of just went from there. Nothing too crazy, and yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. I've been watching you from a long time now. Speaking of, we at DYSG here believe in giving flowers now. We don't want people kick the bucket. We don't give y'all flowers now. So if you don't mind, when I first came across your content, Krystal, I thought, who is this little pretty black girl spitting facts about anime? Who is this? Who is this chick? You have this infectious way of conveying your message and your content with such excitement and life. It makes you, the viewer, want to go get the book, watch the show, or go to the place you are talking about. You are a light, and we here at DYSG are looking forward to everything you will do.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
No problem. So, going to your website, KrystalShanelle.com, your
needs to be updated.
Yeah,
it's like crazy there.
Hey, at least you got one. At least you got one.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? But and speaking of that, DYSGmedia.com coming soon. Just want to let y'all know that real quick. Let y'all know it's coming soon. But yeah, going to your website here, your brand work is an impressive list, from Hot Topic, Crunchyroll, Netflix, and more. For the creators looking to up their game and following your blueprint, what sort of tips can you give to help them out?
That's actually such a great question because I am trying to currently find a more streamlined way to do it. Because in the beginning, I was kind of just like doing whatever. And that, that was the fun of it. It was just random, whatever popped into my head. I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this, blah, blah, this and that. Now I was like, okay, maybe I should be a little bit more intentional and have a structure and actually, go about a certain way. So I think first it depends on what it is that you want to do specifically online. Like if it's being a content creator, what is the purpose of your content and why are you doing it? And I think once you figure out your purpose, it kind of becomes a little bit easier. So I feel like after figuring out what my purpose was, or at least what I thought my purpose was, what I know my purpose is, which is kind of like, influence people to want to see media in a better light, in a good light that maybe can influence them to treat other people better. It was easier for me to figure out how I wanted to do my content. So when I talk about anime, I'm like, okay, well, when I talk about this anime, what is it that I want my audience to gain from this? So I think it's kind of like understanding what your purpose is, understanding what you want your audience to like get from whatever content you're putting out, and then finding a schedule, sticking to the schedule. And yeah, it's kind of easy, but you just got to do a lot of brain work. That's all.
Okay. Well, Tarif's checking in saying notepad is ready for sure. Good. Taking notes from you. Also, Navy Montel, greetings and citations. First time caller, long time fan. Love what you do. Keep it up. That's my uncle right there. I love that guy so much. So, what is a common or popular nerd opinion that you don't subscribe to?
Popular one that I don't subscribe to? Maybe that Sakura is trash. Maybe that she's a terrible character. I feel like that's kind of the majority of how. Well, I don't want to say the majority, but the majority that I see just like online is this.
You're right.
Yeah. So I guess that would probably be it. I had a whole like week bender of just like talking about Sakura, and I was going back and forth with so many people, and I was just like, y'all really hate her. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that would probably be it.
Like you would think Sakura did something to these people personally, but
you would think she was Danzo. You would think she was doing what Danzo did. No, she just lied a little bit. And suddenly she's the worst character in the whole show. All right.
Yeah, like, all right, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Y'all got it. I can't don't know.
Man. So, like you said just before, you picked up your expertise in VFX and animation from the LA Film School of the same. By the way, my favorite one that you've done is wait, you're Spider-Man? That's my favorite one. Like that was so fucking cute. I was like, oh my god, I love this girl so much.
Thank you. I had fun doing
What
that.
sparked the desire for this art form, and do you see yourself handling more projects like this in the future?
What sparked it? So I've always liked anime, right? Oh, you know what I think sparked it? My friend King Vader, he did an Akatsuki video, and I did it with him. And when I saw the production of it, I was like, this is so cool. What, like, just live action anime. And there's like other videos I've seen, like there's this Rock Lee versus Naruto. It was a really long time ago. I don't know if you know the same person who did the My Hero Academia live action. He also did this old live action of like Naruto and Rock Lee, and it was so cool to me. So I was just like, I really want to get into like live action and like anime and combining that and whatever, right? So then I was like, but how can I do it in a way where it's like academic? And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, look at this school. So then when I joined the school, I was like, I'm gonna work for Marvel and I'm gonna do this. And I was just so like interested in making the effects. Like making the effects is what I was like really wanted to do. But then as like while I was in the program, I realized there was a lot to like animation and VFX. And so I would like find certain things that I was really, really interested in. So like I was really interested into like 3D integration or like just character modeling and stuff like that. So I don't know. I learned a lot. And so like future projects, like projects I did outside of like right after school, I did this like Yu Yu Hakusho project where it was a lot of fun. Where I like basically put myself in the world of Yu Yu Hakusho and like being able to like manipulate or like kind of copy the same moves that they had in Yu Yu Hakusho and myself, and then like trying to, I don't know, it was a lot, right? So I definitely want to do more projects like that in the future. I just need to lock in again and get back into that because it's such a tedious process. Oh my gosh.
Listen, you ain't gotta tell me if there's one thing I hate doing is editing.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
the most tedious thing in the world. But you
Yeah.
know, looking at people who look like us are starting to get the rub from Hollywood, especially with Netflix and the showrunners for certain anime projects. I could definitely see you eventually, getting the reins of something over at Netflix for sure. So Netflix,
Yeah, let's go.
y'all watching? I'm just saying, like. The
Please
girl
hear me.
she has the goods.
Please.
She has the goods. Please give this girl a chance for sure. So, a couple of years ago, you developed a love for DC Comics. Now, I love both as far as DC and Marvel, but I do have a deeper love for DC myself, of course. What sparked the love for DC for you?
That's tough. I don't know. So when I was probably like 18, 19, 20-ish, I don't know why I loved the Flash and Robin. I don't know what it was, but those two were like my road dogs, right? I there's photos of me like wearing their costumes for like Halloween. I was like, why did I do this? But it was just whatever, right? Never thought of it until I was on Twitter one time, and I think I was doing a Twitter Spaces, and I don't know what I was talking about, but one of my friends, Cheyenne, she was like, oh, you should watch all the DC animated movies. And I was like, I never thought of that before. So I started watching that, and I was like, oh, there's something awakening back in my body that I remember when I was younger. And then so from there, I was just like, I really just got interested. I'm still a huge Robin and Flash fan for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But then after I watched all the movies, I did Young Justice. And then after Young Justice, I think I stopped after that and just kind of started. I started picking up the comics and the graphic novels. And yeah, that's that's kind of how it was. I don't know.
So of course there's some nerd probably watching right now who wants to ask this question. I'll go ahead and get out of the way for them. Which Robin is your Robin?
Okay, so I love Teen Titans Robin. Like that was my road dog, right? But I really liked the dynamic of Damian Wayne and Batman because Damian is such like a 180 from what Batman is. So it's so interesting trying to see him kind of conform into this role of Robin that is like so far from how he was raised. I just think that's so cool. So I like Damien a lot for his character. I like, Dick Grayson because he's my boy. He was with me.
OG.
He was with me when I was a kid.
OG. Got respect the OG for sure. Yeah. I love Damien. I like Damien now because
what happened with
when
old Damien?
when he was first introduced in the comics, Damien was a little shit. I can't lie. I was like,
you know what? And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like characters like that because it's funny. Because it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is your issue? Why are you acting like this? Yeah,
he was a little snot, but I'm like, you know what? I respect Damien now. He's gone through the fire. I respect Damien.
Let's go.
He definitely has his place, and of course, the OG. You gotta love Dick Grayson. Of course, everyone loves Red Hood because he shoots. And like, okay,
and you know what? I think I rock with Jason Todd too. I remember I watched Under the Red Hood and the whole like him Joker Batman scene. I was like, this is crazy. This must be God. This must be so crazy for his mental right now. I know he's not okay. Like I know.
That speech at the end, Jensen Ackles nailed that speech. That shit was incredible. I love that scene.
I need to go back now. I'm thinking about it. You're about to re-up me again.
Oh man. So let's see. Let's ask a question here. So after the pandemic, you, Taylor Senpai, and Becca Supreme, y'all bet on yourselves in LA, moved in together, and pretty much became pillars in the anime blurred space. Was that a move? Or were you completely confident it was the right thing to do? Or were you guys kind of nervous at first?
We've known each other like before we moved in. I think we knew each other for like 2 years. And we communicated on Instagram and just other we were online friends first.
Right.
So it wasn't like I was moving in with strangers. I remember when we had kind of first posted about it on Twitter and everyone was like, oh, good luck, blah, 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 that. And we were just like, we've known each other for a very we visited each other, we saw each other at cons, like these weren't strangers. So I felt confident that we weren't gonna like kill each other. But it was three people moving into a house together that know each other. So it wasn't too crazy or anything like that. But it was definitely really fun, especially because we all kind of worked in the same industry community. Like we all kind of were doing the same thing. So it was a lot of fun. It was great. I think we lived together for 2 years. Yeah, go team.
Awesome. It's definitely inspiring to see that because not a lot of people, will take that leap or that jump and really bet on themselves to really thrive, and especially in the nerd space, because it's not always guaranteed that you're going to catch on. Now, it's not always guaranteed your content is going to really bubble that way. So it's definitely awesome that you guys will have bet on yourselves for that matter.
Yeah.
Which fandom do you find to be your favorite? Well, scratch that question because that one I already know.
What's the answer? What's the answer?
We'll get to it.
All
let me know. But let me ask a question. What fandom do you find utterly toxic?
If we being honest, if we being so honest, I feel like all fandoms have their own toxicity levels, but the most toxic, I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. They're all they all have toxic trait. Like I've experienced all of them in some capacity, so it's kind of tough. I would say the most recent one I've probably the Naruto community and Sakura. I don't know because they really hate that girl, and so it kind of just makes me feel like there's like a lot of misogyny in like the Naruto community. But it's like, is it the Naruto community or is it just the people that? No, the gaming community is crazy. I didn't realize how crazy the gaming community was until sorry, this is off topic.
No. Give it to me.
I recently became a correspondent for Black Girl Gamers. So I started working with them, doing content for them. Yeah, it's great. They're awesome. And there was this whole big thing happening with them on Twitter, just everywhere. And just seeing this massive amount of vitriol towards just Black girls in the gaming space was insane. And I was talking to my friend, he's like, you know what? I think the gamers might have the anime fans beat for toxicity. I was like, let's go. Gamers beat us. But yeah, I think they're pretty crazy. But then again, I'm like, is it necessarily gaming or is it just the people who then call, you know what I mean? Like it's tough because everybody kind of crazy somehow, some way. Someone thinks someone's, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, like me, I've always said, and my boy in the comments here, my boy Mayhem Media, he agrees with me. Star Wars toxicity is over 9,000. Listen, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Like, I swear, it doesn't matter what drops, whether it be a movie, a show, animation, even a novel. They're
gonna hate it
apart. They tear it apart. I'm like, dude, this is y'all's content. Y'all want this stuff here, but when it comes out, you shit on it. Like,
so then I wonder, what is it exactly that they're a fan of if they're Star Wars fans? Like, what is it that they like?
Here's my theory. You have the people who all they want is lightsabers. They want lightsabers, they want Jedi, they want Sith. And when they don't get that, they have a fit. Then you have people who don't want anything to do with lightsabers. And when you get a single lightsaber, they have a fit. Then you have people who don't want to see anyone black, and we know what we call them. And then you have people who don't want to see anything that has a woman in it, and we know what we call them. Then you have people who don't want to see anything with anyone who's from this era or anyone named Skywalker. It's like, you guys have all these points of where, like, you cut off your own fandom. It's like, can y'all just enjoy everything?
Yeah. Like, and I would also think, since Star Wars, I feel like there's so much Star Wars is lore. There's something for everyone. If you don't like this one thing, maybe there's this other, you know what I mean? But also the racism, the sexism, you're gonna have to figure that out, because that's gonna happen regardless. Like, I can let the lightsabers pass, but women and black people, you're gonna have to figure it out. I'm so sorry.
I honestly don't get it, because for me, I mean, I'm still that kid, 13, 14 years old, reading Wizard magazine, like wishing that these things were come to live fruition, whether it be a movie or a show. And now that we're in this age of where we have the most content ever, and we're getting things that I had on my wish list, I'm loving all of it, to be honest with you. I'm loving everything.
As you should.
Yeah, the Napkin Coalition. Yeah,
tough.
Yeah, they'll do it on their own. Anyway, for those of you just joining us, we got the amazing Kyrstal Shanelle in the building, y'all. Pirate Captain King Krystal.
Hello,
Krystal. I'm gonna take a risk here, and hopefully that you don't develop some sort of technological power and come through, your screen, cross several United States borders, and punch me in the face. But
we'll see what happens.
I've never watched a single episode of One Piece.
Well, this has been awesome, guys.
I feel like I feel like I should now, because you've been able to convince so many others, including Mr. Kev on stage, which was very, very big. I will have to say that I saw that video. I was like, what?
My best friend.
The influence is fucking real.
They were trying to boo me. I remember when I first saw his tweet, I made a whole video and I said, this is why you should watch it, blah, blah, this and that. They tore me apart for like 2 days, 48 hours, 2 days. And then he watched it and I said, look who's on top. One Piece fans never lose. Ever. Ever, ever.
So my man Terra TV said you converted Kev on stage to One Piece. How long is the victory lap gonna be?
It hasn't stopped, actually. I'm still going.
So, as someone who hasn't watched a single episode,
crazy.
What should I like? Convince me. Like, what is it that's why is it so great? What should I be, diving into? Why should I watch it? Honestly, why should I watch it?
I feel like if you just really like good storytelling, that's all it really is. Like, I feel like One Piece has so many amazing metaphors for how life goes, and the struggles of life, and the victories of life, and the fun of life, and all that stuff. And I feel like for me, just kind of watching Luffy in the Straw Hats, it just reminds me of just like how fun life can be. But the crazy thing is like they live under, in a sense, the same kind of suppressive systems we live under, and it's just so like kind of some type of word to like watch someone, regardless of whatever situation or circumstances or external forces that are against them, still try and follow their dreams. It's just really fun. And Luffy's just a fun guy. I really like how he just carries himself. All of the crew members, like I really like the character development. I think that's one of the biggest things, is because sometimes characters will come out and you'll hate them. I remember I did not like Usopp. I did not like Frankie. I didn't like Robin at all. But then you start to learn their character and they grow on you. And I feel like Oda does such a great job at like developing characters and making like them make sense, I guess. And he's just really good at making like complex and layered characters, which makes you fall in love with these characters even more. And then the story is just awesome. It's just very, very fun. The only negative thing about One Piece is the pacing. So basically, if you like good anime, watch One Piece.
Gotcha. 10-4. I will definitely. I'm because I know my son. Yeah, my son himself. He's 13, and he said like you gonna go on like a live with Kyrstal Shanelle? You know, One Piece shit? I'm like, yeah. I mean, what's the problem? He's like, okay.
yeah. Good on him for knowing. Has he watched One Piece?
Yes.
I see. What's going on?
He's a big fan. He's actually putting me on to the other animes as well too, because I'm the comic nerd in the house. So putting me on to anime is difficult. It's difficult. It has to hold my attention. But
okay. Well, what's like a genre, or like what do you like?
Me personally, I'm a big fan of mysteries. I'm definitely a big fan of a good mystery that has multiple layers, things you don't see coming. I definitely am a big fan of big personality heroes. So I am a My Hero fan. I will say that I do love My Hero.
My Hero's good. Understandable.
Yeah,
I would suggest, if you like mysteries, I don't know if you've ever heard of Erased. Erased is a really good mystery. It's like a psychological mystery, time traveling kind of anime. I really enjoyed that one. Some people don't like it, but they're tripping. I like it. If you ever think about watching an anime, it's only like 12 episodes, maybe 24.
Okay, it's called Erased.
Yes. Okay. It's really cool.
Okay, I'm gonna put that note in here real quick so I don't forget that.
Let's go. Another win, maybe.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, like Frankie told me one time when I put Frankie on something. Now, you know, if this is trash, I'm gonna read you, right?
And you know what? You can try, but all my recommendations are solid. So if you don't like it, that's a problem with yourself. That's not. That's.
I love the confidence. I love it. I love the confidence. Absolutely love it. So let's just say, hypothetically, Hollywood decides to produce the Kyrstal Shanelle movie. You cannot play yourself. However, you have the final say so in who portrays you. Who would you choose?
Keke Palmer. I get compared to her so often. And I was watching an audition that she had recently for what is the movie called? With the spaceship in the horse. I don't remember. I don't remember. It
nope.
just Nope. Yes. I watched her audition, or her just acting for it, and I was like, she is a lot like me. Like, personality wise, we're very, very similar. So Keke Palmer, definitely.
Okay, I can see that. Maybe that'd be a dope little dope thing. So would we do an origin story? Would we make something kind of crazy?
Probably
like maybe supernatural. Crazy.
Okay. I'm thinking something sci-fi, supernatural, probably.
Okay, so basically your life story, but adapted through science fiction. I like that.
Yeah.
That would be fire. Everyone else could play themselves, but you couldn't play yourself. That'd be dope.
I'm gonna play somebody else.
Yeah, you back a barista handing your drink. Here you go.
Here you go, Krystal. Wow, what a cool name. So interesting. Anyway.
That would be fire. Now, with this next question, we all know the worst answer is flight, but we can't really call ourselves blurs if we don't ask one of the most popular questions of all time. So, Krystal, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Now, keep in mind, we're coming up on a full eclipse of the sun, so it just might go down this Monday. What power would you pick?
Dang. You know, I always have an answer for this, and then I always forget it, and so I always have to pick something new. I'm gonna say solely because I can only think of him, the Flash. So I have to say super speed. I feel like there's a cooler answer out there. Telekinesis is kind of cool. Is telekinesis where you can move stuff, right?
Yeah. Telekinesis is where you can move stuff. Telepathy is where you can hear thoughts, and that's just trash. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Twitter is enough. I don't want to hear thoughts.
I see enough thoughts as it is. It would probably be, dang, I know I have a better answer for this, but I'm gonna just super speed or telekinesis. What would you pick?
Technopath.
What is
I would
that?
be able. Technokinesis is basically being able to speak to machines.
Why do you want to speak to machines?
Well, let's just say, for example, I'm just walking the street one day, and I need a few dollars.
You're hilarious.
I could just touch an ATM, get out what I need, and go about my day.
I understand. Okay,
if there's a certain college team and they need certain players to ace a final, I'll just pull up to the campus, touch a few computers, and hey, you guys can play a championship game.
I understand. I see the vision.
Yeah. If there's a content creator there I see, needs a little help, touch a computer.
I'm gonna just
maybe just boost the algorithm in their favor, maybe something like that.
Okay, that's real. I understand.
Now, because you picked super speed, I got to ask this question too, because I asked this before to a friend of mine.
Yes.
You're familiar with Flashpoint?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Would you do that if you had super speed? Like, let's say there's a family member you lost. Would you risk fucking up everything to bring them back?
No, I don't think I would, because what? Like, I understand it. I get it. But at the end of the day, yo, that's no. I think maybe what I would do. Actually, you know what I don't remember? Okay, I'm about to go on a tangent. So I just watched the Flash movie on a plane, like maybe a couple days ago. No, like a week ago.
The Ezra Miller one?
Yeah, I just watched it. And I didn't know that it was essentially Flashpoint. I didn't know. I thought they were doing something new, right? And I was like, well, what if I could just go back real quick, hang out with whatever, like my mom, like hang out with them real quick, and just be like, all right, I gotta go, and not necessarily bring them back, but what if I just hang out with them, like I could just make some trips back and forth instead of like ruining the entire universe. I don't know. But actually, I also have a question for you. What do you think that animated, because I feel like the DC animated movies, everyone loves them. And then the live action movies, people don't necessarily love them as much. What do you think the disconnect is between them?
I think the disconnect is that with the live action films, there's not enough that goes into the thought process of continuity. Especially with the recent Snyderverse, there's a lot of pieces that were left out, a lot of holes that's in the plot, and then with Dawn of Justice, everything was rushed. They put about 5 storylines in that one movie, and it's just like, wait a minute, you guys are doing way too much right now in this one film. This is the first time we saw Superman and Batman in the same film. You threw that in there. On top of that, you threw in Dark Knight Rises, you threw in Trinity, you threw in Doomsday, like you threw in so much. So it's hard for the casual fan to even catch on to what the hell is going on. And then there's a lot of continuity issues. Like, wait a minute, I thought this person had this going on in the previous film. What's going on in this one? And sometimes I believe it could be something with writers where you don't have the same writing team. And then, of course, we know back with the whole thing with the strike, the writers are rushed, the creative process is rushed. It's like night and day between Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84. It's night and day. And I think that with a lot of that process goes into there's too much rushing going on, there's too many holes in plots, and you can't blame the people who are cast in these projects. It all has to do with the studio. Now, the biggest villain in DC's live action is Warner Brothers. If they can get the fuck away from them and just do their own thing, which I think what they're kind of trying to do now with DC Studios, with what my man James Gunn's trying to do and just try to keep Warner Brothers away from the creative process, I think they'll be okay. But as far as with animation, they have a lot more to work with. They're freer to work with, certain aspects. They don't have to have a budget of FX because it's all animation. So I think that's why they reign a little more supreme in the live action.
Okay. I feel you. And also Bama said something where he was like, it doesn't work without the reverse flash. And I don't know if you're saying that because of like from the Flash movie, but the entire time I was waiting for him to pop up the entire time. I was like, okay, he's going to come now, or he's going to come now, or I was just waiting because like once I realized this was the storyline, I was like, okay, now I know what's going on. But when it didn't do what I thought it was like in the comics, I was like, okay, so was what are, and I thought it was kind of cool having the bad guy be who he was. I was like, okay, that's quirky and cool. But yeah, it was interesting. And then they didn't look whatever. They just made their own. They made their own Flashpoint, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, it was a very lazy Flashpoint at that.
It was so interesting. And my friend, he calls himself Wally because he loves the Flash so much. He hasn't even watched it. He loves the Flash so bad. He's like, I can't watch it, Krystal. I can't do it. And I was like, I understand. I just wanted to see. I was on a flight, so I was like, I might as well just see what actually happened.
Yeah.
Did you know that they're? Oh, sorry. What?
Nah, I was thinking about like if you can not cringe at the effects, it's okay. It's decent. If you cannot cringe at the effects, get out all the bullshit that Ezra did out of your mind, and just wait for Batman. It's okay. This is decent.
Is it well, I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but the Batman and Robin movie that's coming out, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Brave and the Bold. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
If they do it, see, I have so many thoughts on how they should do it. But of course, I'm a nobody. I'm not.
Okay, but your opinion still matters as a fan.
I'm no Kyrstal Shanelle, but I do have thoughts.
I would like to hear your thoughts.
I have thoughts. Now, if they're going to do Brave and the Bold, if they're definitely going to bring in other members of the Bat family, if you're going to have members of the Bat family, including Batman, you need to have a rogue gallery that's going to give them the challenge. Now,
who do you think? Yeah, who do you think would?
Here's my opinion. And first of all, the first tick that we have to make with this rogue gallery, the first rule we must follow is anybody but Joker. Let's follow that rule first and foremost. Anybody but Joker.
Why?
Because first of all, it really doesn't matter who they cast as Joker.
The
nerd community is gonna tear that guy to pieces.
Because
the same way they tore Leto to pieces, the same way they tore.
You think it was justified? I don't think any tearing down is justified, but do you think the way he portrayed Joker, or maybe it was the writers or the concept of that Joker, do you think it is justified?
Conceptually, that Joker was probably, it could have worked better if I guess they gave him more time to flesh out his narrative in that film. But at the same time, it's not a Joker movie, it was a Suicide Squad movie. So I understand why he wasn't in as much as he could have been.
Yeah.
Had they done a Batman film, they probably could have gave us a little more behind this Joker and why his version was the way it was. And at the same time, you're coming off the heels of Heath Ledger, and it's like he was in a losing battle from the word go.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do a rogue gallery, anybody but Joker.
Dang.
Save him. At least I wouldn't say don't put him in there, but just save him for something else. Now, if you're gonna put some rogues in there, I definitely need to see Poison Ivy.
Why Poison Ivy?
We haven't seen Poison Ivy since that Batman and Robin film, and I need to see a chick who will do anything for the green of Gotham. And that includes doing some devious, murderous stuff.
I
need to see Poison Ivy from the word go. I definitely need to see Mr. Freeze.
Why Mr. Freeze?
Freeze, again, he wasn't done that well in Batman and Robin. And Freeze can be a cold piece of work. And I need to see a Freeze who is just heartless, who just does whatever it needs to be done. And
Mhm.
he just, at the end of the day, he's the husband who wants to save his wife.
That's all it is.
That's all he
If
wants to
anything,
do.
Batman should relate. I don't know. I just feel like they have some things in common, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if we're talking Bat family members, you're not gonna make this movie without Nightwing, and you're not gonna make this movie without Batgirl. Now,
Really?
the question is, which Batgirl are they gonna use? Are we gonna use Barbara Gordon? Are we gonna use Cassandra Cain?
Ooh, Cassandra Cain would be so fire, bro. No, I don't know what movie I saw with Cassandra, but I think it was maybe a comic. I saw the fit, and then I saw some of her story. I said, "Oh my god, what?" I said, "She is so cool. Her fit is so fire." Just up.
Yeah, I definitely will. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing her. Yes, I do think this movie would also need Talia and Roz, not just not just Roz. We definitely need Talia and Roz. And Talia Al Ghul should be played. I forget her. No, I do remember her name. Priyanka Chopra. She's the one that's married to Nick Jonas.
Oh,
she's the one
okay,
married to Nick Jonas. She should be Talia Al Ghul. And I just need her to just flex her feminine wiles and prowess to just be this devious woman, but at the same time, she got Batman wrapped around her finger. Like, you're gonna do whatever I say because I'm me.
Is Batman still? Because I'm not too Batman lore, right? Is after Damian was born and whatever. Does Batman and Talia still have that relationship?
It's like the most toxic. It's like the most toxic baby mama drama there is. Because at one point she clones. She makes a clone called the Heretic, and he wreaks havoc on Gotham. It's just like baby girl, let that man go. He don't want you no more. Let that man go. He don't want you no more. He already got your son. Just let him go. Just let him go. It's fine. But yes, I also believe Anna Bird said we should put Hush in there. Now, I think Hush, he's probably one of the most, if not the most personal villains that Batman has in his rogue gallery. Because that man went so far as to make sure his own parents died the same way the Waynes died, just so he can have a similar backstory to Bruce Wayne. I'm like, bruh, I think you're obsessed a bit.
I think you might need to see some professional help. That's crazy.
You probably should, talk to somebody, BetterHelp.com, my boy. BetterHelp.com.
BetterHelp.com is funny.
I believe the first 2 sessions are free. At least get those out of the way.
Get your foot in the door.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, promo code, something can help out. I'm sure something can help out. But yeah, I definitely would love to see a Bat family of at least, Batman, Nightwing, a Batgirl, maybe even Tim, with the story kind of somewhat as a side plot of where we're trying to bring in Damian. And then I need a stacked rogue gallery. I mean,
okay. I think I'm currently, what am I reading right now? I think I'm reading, dang, I wish I had it. It's upstairs. I'm currently reading this Batman and Robin, like, huge, what are those big?
Omnibus?
Yeah, it's just like all of it, right? So is the storyline for this one following a certain comic, or do you think they're gonna like remix it? Like, what do you think, or how would you want the storyline to go if you could decide how it would?
If you give me a template, I think we should definitely do Batman and Son. That story as a template, but of course, Hollywood's gonna do that thing. They're gonna take their certain liberties, so they can do that. But if we stick to that template and have a showrunner, or at least an executive consultant on the set who knows the story well enough to say, okay, we can take liberties here, here, and here, but this shit, don't touch it. And that's what I want on set for DC movies. And I need a guy who's going to make noise, who makes a fuss and say, listen, you can take these liberties here, but all this, do not touch it.
Yeah. You need like a lore keeper.
Yeah. Somebody needs to be on set doing some big gatekeeping. And
I will not allow you to destroy this.
Like, listen, I need somebody on set. I need the actually kid on set.
That is
go that way.
So funny.
I need the actually kid on set.
That is
of
so
every
funny.
DC film. I need that kid on set.
That's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You're real for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because DC has potential, but
yeah,
for right now, that's all we're seeing is potential.
Now it's time to put in the work.
Exactly. And right now, like you mentioned before, with DC movies being as good as they are, now we have X-Men 97, and that's just kind of like, hey, Marvel gonna get in your ass in animation too. Y'all better step it up.
Well, I didn't watch the What Ifs, and I also haven't watched the X-Men yet. But I haven't watched the What Ifs. I think I've heard probably like mixed reviews on it. But what are your thoughts on it, animation wise, and also in comparison to DC, if it can even be comparable?
I know I've heard a lot of people didn't like the animation style. As far as the stories, though, I think they were great. They didn't really pluck too much from the What If comic series, and they kind of kept everything central to the MCU, which I didn't mind. I understood the assignment going in because they were going to pretty much bring in the same voice castings from the films to the animation. So of course they're going to keep things central to the MCU. A lot of people didn't enjoy the animation. I thought it was dope. Me, I'm gonna enjoy anything I can't do personally. So I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is fire. I like it. It looks good to me. But that was really the main complaint I always heard. The first season, I think, was better than the second season. There were a few episodes that kind of stuck out, but the rest were kind of like, yeah, okay. We could have maybe not done the season this year. The one episode from season 2, I forget her name, but there was a Native American girl who developed powers, and her episode was fucking awesome. So if nothing else, check that one out.
Okay, I will. And this kind of reminds me of we're going very off topic.
No. This is all you, baby girl. This is all you.
The Star Wars Visions. They're have you seen those?
I haven't gotten around to it. I read the one shots when they came out, but I haven't actually watched them yet. Now there were some that I saw snippets of that looked great.
Yeah, I think there was one that I was like, this is so amazing. I watched all of them, but they're really cool. And now I kind of want to do like comparisons with Star Wars Visions, Marvel What If, and DC. Well, I feel like DC just has so much. It would be hard to have it like on one thing. But like I just always find it interesting, like comparing the differences between them, because everyone likes them for all different reasons. Like, why? What are the reasons? Can we somehow put all of these reasons into one show and just make one perfect show or something like that? But yeah, it's so interesting. I definitely would recommend. I don't even know the name of the one I watched, so I can't even tell you. But if I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, see, now you give me ideas. Now I want to put a council together. Like, hey, listen, let's figure this out.
Yeah, if we all just talk together, I'm sure we can figure it out. There is a system, there is an outline, there's a template here. I know there is. Yeah,
give it some animation greatness, and of course, maybe after we finish that, we'll do anime greatness. Figure out, make the perfect anime as well too.
Exactly.
But if you ask Kyrstal Shanelle, it already exists. But anyways.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
All right, Krystal. I have enjoyed talking to you. You have been an absolute dream. I'm gonna run through this thing here called the checklist. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You just say it pops to your head first, and then we'll wrap this thing up and let you get out of here.
Okay.
All right. So, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, or PC?
That's tough. What? The first thing that popped into my head was Xbox, only because I'm playing Persona 3 on it. But I like my Switch because I can play Earthbound on it. But I also like PlayStation because that's where my other games. But I'm gonna say Xbox because that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay. All right.
That's tough. What the heck?
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Android or iPhone?
iPhone. That was okay. That worked.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Marvel or DC?
DC.
Dub or sub? I thought you froze for a second. Like, oh my god, did I break?
No,
Screen break.
that's tough. That's tough.
Now, I will say, since doing DYSG Live for the last 5 years, there is one common answer to this question. I'm going to see if you'll get the same common answer.
I'm split because sub is good, and then they have really good dubs. I don't know. I guess I'll go with sub because the majority of my anime is subs, but there's some dubs that are bangers. Like Yu Yu Hakusho dub, banger. Trigun dub, so I don't know. It's tough. What's the common answer though?
The common answer is it depends on how busy I am.
That's interesting. You know what is so funny actually? I was watching a dub with my friend, and he voice acts, right? And I was like, oh man, because we were watching something, and I was like, oh man, this is so nice that I can like walk away for a while and like I have to go do something, and I don't have to like sit there. And he's like, man, I'm so happy that you're able to walk away from the screen and not watch. I was like, wait, no, that's not what I meant. I meant like I have to go grab something, please. And ever since you said that, I was like, oh my god, I think about it all the time. But that's a real answer, because like if I'm like working, I can like listen and not have to always be, because sometimes they be expositioning like crazy, and if it's sub, I have to read it like a paragraph, and if it's dub, I can just be like, oh, I can just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's kind of a tangent, my fault.
No, you're good. You're good. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
What's your go-to tea?
Oh my god. I'm gonna say, what's that tea that makes you go to sleep? Sleepy time tea.
Well, yeah, sleep time tea. I thought maybe you were thinking chamomile tea, because chamomile is a very
my
calming
first
tea.
thought was Earl Grey tea. And then I thought Thai tea, because I was supposed to get Thai tea today, but that's not really tea. That's like where it is, I guess. In chamomile, I actually just had chamomile tea yesterday. I don't know. I like them all. All
right, cool. Do you have a Hogwarts house?
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
It's cool. Favorite superhero and villain?
Ooh, my favorite villain is Thanos. My favorite superhero, it's between the Flash and Batman. Flash, because I'm not like everybody else. I'm different.
Cool. Favorite anime pro tag, favorite anime antag?
Ooh, my favorite pro tag. I have 3. I have 4. My favorite, I guess Luffy. Yeah, I guess. And then my favorite antag. Maybe Askeladd from Vinland Saga.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. He's cool. I like him. He was kind of like, have you ever seen Vinland Saga?
I've watched a few episodes by proxy through my son. He's the anime nerd in the house, so everything I watch through him.
What the heck? Okay, Vinland Saga. Askeladd's kind of like that character. Is like a bad guy, but he teaches you, and he's like, he's kind of like that. And I liked his arc. I feel like Vinland Saga was kind of not his story, but like he played a big part in it. And so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bad guy with a lesson. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can dig it. All right. Okay. Would you rather be loved or feared?
Loved. Loved. Okay. If people fear you, they might kill you. I don't know. I don't know. If someone gets scared enough, they might act crazy.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's
true. If someone loves you enough, they can also act crazy. I don't know. It's kind of tough. It's a tough question. But I'll probably say loved.
Okay. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Dang, I've gotten a lot. I think one that I always go back to is that if it's not in your control, then you shouldn't worry about it. I think about that one a lot. Because I used to worry about 20, 50 billion things, and then they were like, blah, 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 and I was like, oh my gosh, suddenly my head feels a bit lighter and I don't have to worry about so many things. I have no, you know what I mean? So I would say that.
Okay. Favorite curse word?
What is it? What is it? The F word. I'm not gonna say it, but the F word is sometimes fun to say for emphasis.
By the way, most common answer is the F word.
They get it. They get it.
You're on death row. What's your last meal?
Chicken parmigiana. Chicken parmigiana. I hope I pronounced that right.
The dish or the sandwich?
The dish. But it'd have to be like a huge plate. Like it'd take me a very long time to eat it.
Gotcha. Do you prefer the breaded chicken or grilled chicken?
Breaded chicken. I've never tried it grilled before.
It's okay, but I prefer breaded too.
Yeah, breaded.
All right. What's your most prized possession?
Ooh, my most prized possession. Why am I looking around like it's around here? My most prized possession. I know I have something. I'm just gonna say because I can't think of it. I have this Trigun omnibus. It's not super prized, but I just was super lucky when I found it. I found it at this place called Half Price Books. And usually they go for like $90, and I got it for like $10 because they didn't know what it was, and I got it, and I was like, thank God. And the person at the register was like, oh man, this is a really good pick. I was like, yeah, thank you guys for not being thorough enough with your investigation. So, yeah. I really am happy.
Man, that's like walking to a thrift store and finding Action Comics #1. Like, oh,
I was
how
like,
much? Give me $10 for it.
Oh, yeah, you ain't said nothing but a word. I got you. Yeah.
Bet. One anime or manga for the rest of your life. What's it gonna be?
One Piece. Because it'll last forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I think we'll be dead.
I hope not.
One Piece will still be going on.
I gotta figure out what happens.
Yeah.
I have to. There's so much.
We're gonna have to put like a TV in your coffin to play all the One Piece. You're gonna learn via the grave.
I made this joke where I was like, when I die, please come to my grave and tell me how One Piece ends. Please, I need to know. I'll hear you from beyond the grave. Just come tell me.
That would be fire. That would be fire to have just a bunch of people standing at your grave and like, listen, this is how it ended. You're not gonna like it, but this is how it ended.
I'll be so sad. I'll come back to life and fix it myself.
All right. Last one. You have $1 million, 1 hour, one place to spend it. What you gonna pick?
Where am I going? Dang, where am I going with $1 million?
Yep, $1 million, and you have 1 hour to spend it in one place.
The first thought that popped into my head was have you ever heard of Animate, the store?
No, I don't think we have it over here.
It's huge, like just anime store. And they have like the superstore in Japan. That was the first episode. That's the first thing that popped. Well, second thing that popped into my head. But then when I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, is there like a store that sells houses where I can just be like, I want that house and I want that house? But they probably don't. So maybe Animate, and that's just like guilty pleasures of just like buying every figure and every single anime thing I could think of.
Okay, that'd be fire. All right, Krystal. First of all, I want to thank you for joining me. I appreciate this time you spent with me. At the end of the day, what would you like the world to know about you, and what's in the future for Kyrstal Shanelle? I'm going to put you on the front screen. Okay. Let us hear what you got to say.
Hey guys. Something that I want the world to know about me is that I really like One Piece, and that I don't know, I really like being able to talk to people and learn about people, and I don't know, just experience other people's lives. So I guess that, and then what's in the future for me? So have you asked? So I have a podcast called In Between the Storylines, where basically I break down and do analyses of different types of stories that I like, whether it's in games, movies, anime, anything, right? So I'm really looking forward to kind of taking that and pushing it and putting it everywhere that I can. Conventions, having like panels and stuff like that. That's all about it. So that's in the future, and hopefully I can put more, like, once I kind of have my, what is the word called, something scheduled for like a lot of the content that I have, I can put more time into kind of like my other creative endeavors, which is like my live action stuff or my VFX and animation stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys all look forward to all of that, and everybody watch One Piece.
All right, Krystal, I appreciate you so much.
No
It has been a
problem.
blast talking to you. For y'all who are just joining us, you've missed an incredible live. You suck, but it's
Next
okay.
time. Oh,
But it's okay because this will be able to be available to be viewed on YouTube. So please go ahead and check that out. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this, because talking to Kyrstal Shanelle was an incredible experience. And I thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
This has been DYSG Live, y'all. And remember, if you're going to have issues, make sure they are variants. And as always, live to play to win to live. We speak geek. Do you speak geek? I'm usually on this end when I do this. This is a new platform. Whatever. Peace, y'all. Y'all have a good night.